Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing tips for Sunday, the 1st of February. Well, first, massive apology for yesterday. What an absolute shambolic performance. The horses had form going into the races, but what you can't legislate for, we'll use that word, a horse it was beaten before it even jumped the first fence. We had one that unseated the rider at the start, and then there was another one that did something. The first one at Lingfield, came round in a decent position, just about led the field, stopped riding it, and this is talking through my pocket. But I'm thinking, it was looking round. I'm like, I didn't quite get. You need to watch that race again if you didn't quite see it. I don't know if they went off like clappers and it got nothing left, but there was something very odd. Anyway, so yeah, it was absolutely dreadful. And then the one that I really fancied, the Minella Missile, I just don't think it went on the ground, and she was forever bumping it, and no, I'd given up by that point. Even the last two, absolutely dreadful. So I've gone to Leopardstown. So this is what I've had. I've had a 25 pence each way, lucky 31. There's one there. There was one selection that I'm looking for Cheltenham, because I'm finding it quite interesting. I've got no idea what race it's going to go for, but let me get into it. So the first selection is Shoda at 11 to 2 in the 12:40 at Leopardstown. This one ticks all the boxes when it comes to what I normally look for in a horse that goes from the flat to hurdles. So it's been racing on the flat over about 2 mile. It's now been up to 2.5 mile, but its previous races have been over 2 mile. In my opinion, what I've always said is horses that want 2 mile on the flat want further over hurdles. It's been stepped up for the first time today. It's got Sean Bowen on board, and I think it's got a decent chance. The second selection is Ballyfad at 11 to 4 in the 140 at Leopardstown. Yeah, it's a skinny price, but I just think it's got a strong chance. The favourite is pretty strong. However, the favourite fell last time. I'm never keen on horses. Well, I'm keen on taking on horses that have fell last time. And Ballyfad, I think it's got a strong chance. The next selection is, alright then, Boakel Bocht at 10 to 1 in the 2:45 at Leopardstown. This horse has reappearance. It's generally been running over 2 mile 4, but the two runs it's had recently have been over 3 mile. It's been hampered in both runs, which is quite interesting. And I'm also not convinced it stays 3 mile over chase fences. So it's now been dropped back to 2 mile 5.5 furlong, and fingers crossed it doesn't get badly hampered again. But I think it's got a decent chance. I think not 14 to 1. I think 10 to 1 is a decent price. It could well drift, but we've got best odds guaranteed. The interesting horse is Amsterdam, and this is the horse I'm keeping an eye on for Cheltenham, because it's 15 to 2 and it's in the 3:20 at Leopardstown. It ran behind both of these horses last time. Was it called Better Times Ahead and Lossiemouth? It was given them both, I believe, £7 that day. Same again today, but it bolted. I heard. I was hoping that nobody really picked up on this going forward, but I've heard it twice now. But in the last race between those three horses, Amsterdam absolutely bolted. It took off. I think it was halfway through the race, and it was still only beaten 6 lengths. That's like literally running. I don't know. Let's say running 10 miles. This is for us. Running 10 miles, but all of a sudden, after 3 miles, you go as hard as you can for 1.5 miles or 2 miles. I'm thinking it still finished close to the principal, so I think there's a real engine there. It just needs taming a little bit, and it's kind of a watching brief today. But I'm thinking I'm not watching it and then seeing it possibly ending up winning. It might have been. For those that like to bet at Cheltenham Manchester Post, might be worth chucking a couple of quids here and there on Amsterdam for a race. But I couldn't tell you what race it could end up running in, or even possibly running well in. And finally, the last selection is Kimi Demai in the 3:52 at Leopardstown. So those are all the selections. Once again, I apologise for Saturday's performance. It was absolutely dreadful. There will be a football bet in the description and first comment below, but that won't be out till about 11 o'clock this morning. So I wish, by the way, there was 1 goal off a drag yesterday. It was Norwich not scoring that let us down for a drag. So I wish you the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.